Hi, this is Lorraine with Chat and Craft with Lorraine Tierney, and I thought I would come on today and just show you a little bit of a card that I made with the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. So this is a new stamp set. This is an early release from the next annual catalog, so it will be around for a while. It's not going anywhere. And it's one large, whoops, it's not in there. It's one large stamp. I'll show it to you in a minute. And then it has a coordinating set of dies. One large die that cuts out all of these images like this. We're going to use this a different way today. This is not full size, so it doesn't line up, but it does. And then some detailed dies and some dies that help you make a background. So we're going to use a little bit of everything today. This is the card that we're going to make. And I saw a card that is probably very different than this online, and I can't find it again, of course. I think it was Calypso Coral. And it did use the blending brush technique that we're going to use today. And that's the part that I really wanted to show you. So the card is not how I anticipated, I don't think, and I can't give credit to anybody because I can't find it again. This one's made with Highland Heather, and you can see that I stamped all of the butterflies, and like I said, that's one big stamp like this. We're going to use the Stamparatus. Okay, it's one big stamp. And then I sponged in the butterflies, but you'll notice I didn't get it all over the place because I used this large die to make a stencil or a mask for me. So I cut out all the butterflies. I saved the little white butterflies. I'll use them on a background for something else. And then I laid this over my butterflies and I did some sponging. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you that technique. So this piece of paper, I just measured the dies, and these are about 5.5 by 6. So I just cut a big enough piece of white paper that I could get the full image of all those dies on it. And then this is a regular card front. Whoops, I got ink on that side, so I guess I'll use this side. 4.25 by 5. And I have it marked in here where I want to put that. And there's only a couple of spots you can put your magnets to hold this one in place because there's a lot of stamp and not a lot of space. Well, let me see if I can get that. There we go. And since this is a red rubber stamp, I've taken out the foam cushion on my Stamparatus, and I just have the magnets right down on the board. Okay, so we're going to ink up this stamp. I'm going to use Rococo Rose this time. I thought that would also be a nice springy color. Rococo Rose is one of those colors that is going to retire when the new catalog starts in May. So if you like Rococo Rose and you need a refill or a marker or more paper, the time to get it is now, because once Stampin' Up! Reminds people that it's retiring, it's going to be gone pretty quickly. All right, so we're going to stamp with this. I do have a big block I can use for this stamp, but I find it's hard to get a real even coverage, and that I need to stamp it more than once because it is such a large stamp. So the Stamparatus is always what we need when we have to stamp it more than once. Okay, so there's my butterfly. I am missing a little bit in that corner. right there. Let's see. I'm not sure why I'm having such a hard time. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So I'll clean that in a bit. And now this is that purple tape that you can get, I think on Amazon. Maybe you can get it in a scrapbooking store. It's like a washi tape, but it's even lower tack so that it won't rip your paper. If you were going to use a washi tape, I'd put it on my jeans a little bit first and get some of the stickiness off. I've had washi tape rip my paper a few times. So now I'm going to place this over and try to get it lined up. It is slightly bigger than the stamped images, but not too bad. I'm using the same tape. Maybe I'll add another piece just in case. Okay, and I have a blending brush here and my Rococo Rose ink. And I discovered my husband uses these microfiber cloths in the, I have quite a shadow there, in his garage. And so I found that if I use those on the blending brush, it really takes off color that I thought was already off and makes it even better. I'm sorry, I have shadows everywhere today. Okay, so I'm going to just ink this up. This is where over here you'll see my cardstock is smaller than the cutouts, so that's a little bit different. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do a little Rococo Rose in my butterflies. I would think this color's a little bit darker than what I wanted for a springy color, but I do love this Rococo Rose. It really looks pretty on navy. I might have to get a navy card base to put it on. And I don't want to go too dark, but I do want to just color them in a little bit. I'm not worried if they're even or blotchy because they're butterflies, and butterflies have a lot of variation. And so when you take that off, you have beautifully colored butterflies, and it looks like I stayed in the line pretty well. There you go. Got a couple of little fuzzies on there. All right, so I was gonna put it on the Rococo Rose. Well, let's see if we should go monochromatic. And then I was gonna pop up just one of these and put a ribbon on it. Or let me grab a piece of Night of Navy. And I will cut a card base out of this. I don't know, I don't want it to look patriotic, red, white, and blue either. So you'll have to tell me what you think. All right, so here it is on the Rococo Rose. Oops, it's sticking to my finger. And then here it is on the Night of Navy. Make the pop-up butterfly navy, Michelle says. Oh, on the Rococo Rose or on the navy? You think about that while I cut out a butterfly really quickly. These dies work great. Sometimes there's dies that I have a hard time getting the little pieces out of, but I have not found that at all with these dies. The pieces come out very quickly and easily, as you will see. I hope it doesn't make a liar out of me on camera. Here we go. Let's see, Michelle says, navy butterfly on the Rococo rose. I do have one of these little things, a dye brush. This just wants to make a liar out of me because I'm on live. They usually just fall right out. I jinx myself all the time. Why do I do that? Well, my take your pick tool is on the other table, of course. So I'm using my scissors. Okay, there we go. We're just about done with that. Okay. So, oh, I like it with the Night of Navy pop-up butterfly. So there it is on the navy. We're going to have to trim a little bit of that butterfly off. And here it is on the Rococo rose. I think I'm going to do it on the Rococo rose. Okay, and we'll have to trim a little bit of that. But first, I'm going to put a little ribbon around this. And every time I do a ribbon on Facebook when it's live, I say, why did I do that? But I'm doing it again. The secret when I'm on Facebook is to cut the ribbon long. When I'm not on Facebook, I'm trying to conserve every bit of ribbon and not use more than I need to. I would cut it just the right length, but this is going to be long. I love this polka dot tulle ribbon. It's one of my favorites. And it ties pretty well. Okay. And I never ever tie a bow the same way twice. So I never remember whether I liked it a certain way or I didn't like it. I just want to get that so that it's not twisted. Oops, those are a little bit too big for my liking. There we go. Okay. Let me trim these tails. Whew. They also get very hot while doing these Facebook Lives. Okay. I love that wispy little ribbon. And we'll put some glue on that. I maybe wanted to move that over just a tad. Well, we'll see how the butterfly does. Okay. And we're going to have to trim him because he's hanging off just a little bit. So I'm going to try to leave just a little of this edge. There we go, and I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on him. Okay. And an envelope will push him down a little bit, but hopefully he'll spring up when it's opened. And so that's the card. I wouldn't put a sentiment on the front. I think I'll just stamp something on a piece of Whisper White on the inside, and I would call that a card. So this is a great use, I think, of this butterfly die to make a stencil for that. And the other thing I was going to try it with, I wanted to show you, is I punched some daisies recently. And after I punched the daisies out of white, I thought, oh, this would be really fun to use as a stencil as well. So let me grab my yellow. I haven't really played with this, but I thought I would use a little Daffodil Delight and just lightly, especially near the center, and then lighter towards the edge of the petals, and make a background with just some very, very subtle daffodils. Daffodils. Did I call them daffodils? It's Daffodil Delight, but these would be daisies. Yes, you probably were yelling that to me, Lorraine. They are daisies. Can you see those little daisies showing up there? And I'll do one more partial one over here. Okay, so there's some very light, faint daisies on that. And then I would take my punch and my stamp set. Here we go. I'm going to do a couple of the smaller daisies in the Daffodil Delight. Let's get this lumpiness out of there. Just in case I want to put two flowers on. And then I will punch these out. One. Two. I like that this punch pretty much lines up wherever you put it. The bigger daisy punch is a little bit trickier. I had to mark my stamp which way to do it. There we go. And then I like to kind of curl it just a little I will glue those two together. Yep, I think I want 2 flowers. Maybe I will add a third later. This is on the fly. I would do 2 flowers, and I think I would put a sentiment right there, and then just have, I think it's hard for you to see, but it would just have this very light background. I'm waiting for Facebook to catch up so I can see if you can see the background, the faint background. There you go. You can see that a little bit, I think. So that's what I would do. So when you use your punch or you use your dies, don't throw this piece away. Use it as a stencil to do some sponging and create some different cards. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get a chance to make a card today or tomorrow. And I'd love it if you would show me what you would make. All right, everybody, have a good day. Bye-bye.